Hey everyone, today we're going to go over how to multiply a matrix times a matrix. So in order to do matrix multiplication, first thing we need is our two matrices. So we have matrix A and we have matrix B. And as you see this somewhat complicated equation, this is what we're, trying to get. It might look scary, but it's relatively simple. So let's say we had a matrix A and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, and we wanted to call that A, and we wanted to multiply it times matrix B, which is, let's say, 2, 1, 1, 2. And that we'll call that B. So, and we want C, which will be another square matrix. So first thing we'll do is we'll take this 2 times this 1, and then we'll take this 1 and multiply times this 2, and then add those together. So it would look like this. It would be 2 times 1 plus 2 times 1, and that would equal 2 plus 2 is 4, and that value would go here. And then we would take these same numbers, 1 and 2 right here, and we'd multiply them times 3 and then times 4. I know it's getting a little messy, but I'll just write it down here. So it'd be 2 times 3 plus 1 times 4, and that would be 6 plus 4, which equals 10. And then we would go on to this value, which would be, these values, and we'd multiply it times these values, so it would be the same thing, 1 times 1 plus 2 times 2, which equals 5, and that would go right up here, 5, and then we would do the last value, which would take the 2 and the 1, and we'd multiply it times 3 and times 4, so it would be 3 times 1 plus 2 times 4, that would be 6 plus 3, which equals 9. And the 9. So that would be our final result. So that's a quick example about how we actually would do matrix multiplication. Now we'll go through how we'd better program this, because it gets a little complicated when we program it, just because there's a lot of loops we would theoretically need. We're just going to go through some pseudocode, or how you would do this. Yeah, we'll just use some pseudocode. However, you could test out your actual skills on my website, DeepMLeet, and you could program this by yourself, and you could take what you learned here and apply it there. So first off, let's say so basically what we're doing is we have a matrix with, these are the positions of each value in the matrix. So we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So we'll call that A, and we want to multiply that with B, which is again made up of the same exact values or positional values. Doing it like this will show us what the algorithm or what this process is actually doing. So this is B, and we want to find out what C is. So to start out, we would want C. Well, first off, one thing to note is C is also going to be a square matrix in the same shape of A and B. And so we're going to want to take this and multiply it times this, and then add those up together, and then do the same thing with this value. However, when we're working with programming, the final C will actually be a list of lists, so it would look something like 1, 2, and then 3, 4. So in other words, we first want to compute these values of C, and then these values of C. And, in a usual setting, we would usually compute, like in mathematics or linear algebra, we'd compute this and then this, but we're going to reverse it for the actual algorithm portion. So in other words, we'll take 0, 0 of A times 0, 0 of B, and we'll add that to 0, 1 of A times 1, 0 of B, and that would equal 0, 0 of C. So that would fill out the first value within C. We're going to walk through doing this through a few more examples just so we could see what changes after each iteration. So in the next iteration, now we're trying to get basically what would happen if we took this and multiplied it times that same matrix, so times the top one over here. So to have 0, 0 of A times 0, 1 of B plus 0, 1, sorry about that, of A times 1, 1 of B. And this would equal 0, 1 of C. So now we could see what changed. So we know, what would need to change after each iteration of that loop. So in this example, this changed, like this B value right here changed from 0 to 1. So got, added 1 to it, and this value right here got changed to 1. Okay, so this would basically be what we would need to accomplish with the first iteration of the loop. Now, if we move on to the next part, we're basically going to take, the same, like this value and this value, but we want to do it to the second part of A. So in order to do that, it would look like 1, 0 of A times 0, 0 of B plus 1, 1 of A times, so we're taking this value right here, no, sorry, my bad, we're taking this value right here, and we're multiplying it times that, so this would be 1, 0 of B, and this would give us 1, 0 for C. I know it's a lot of 1, this, 1, that. So the main difference here is the A value. Instead of it being 0 prior, it's now 1. And as you see here, it was 0, and now it's 1. And the B value, you can notice, is the same exact thing as this B value. And this B value is the same exact thing as this B value. And if we did this again, this would be the same thing, and the only thing that would change would be this would go from A10 to 1, 1. And then the rest of it would look like this, barring the A values would change. And that's basically, the pseudocode for how you would have to work about this. You'd have to go through this process and change first the second value of B, and then the second value of B, and then you have to update it iteration by iteration. I think this is a good way for you to understand the process of what you would need the algorithm to be doing. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. You could try out this problem and problems like it on my website, DeepMLeet.com, DeepMLeet at streamlit.com. The link will be in the description. Hope you guys had fun. Have a good day.